Here is a girl by the name of Porsha. Porsha was born in Seattle, Washington. Porsha is approximately 27 and a half years old. She made her way from Seattle and made her way to New York City, Queens to be exact. Growing up in Seattle, Porsha was abused by guys mentally, and most of the guys she had cheated on her, so her guard was up when it came to guys. Now, Portia's been a loner most of her life, and she didn't have many friends, but then she met this guy in New York City. Now, his name, his name was Johnny. Now, Johnny grew up in Fresh Pond, Queens most of his life, and then his parents passed away, and he moved to Sunnyside. But he had a lot of street connections. He never really got in with the Italian boys that he grew up with, but he knew a lot of them, and he had connections. So he got together with her. When Johnny and Porsha first got together, things were really epic. They both was in a world of bliss. Neither one of them could ask for more. Johnny was crazy about Porsha. I mean, that was really his girl. He truly had her in his heart, and he'd do anything for her. Porsha really made Johnny happy. Since Porsha was in Johnny's life, everybody around him saw that Johnny became a changed man. He really became a changed man. Johnny worked really hard for about 18 months, and he was able to open up a restaurant, a really nice little restaurant. Johnny had a really nice place. It even sat by the water. It was so nice, in fact. So almost immediately, business started booming and booming, and Johnny started to become a wealthy man. The money was coming so fast that Johnny thought about opening another restaurant. Him and Porsha were doing so well. Johnny began to make other investments, and the money kept coming and coming and coming. He invested in bitcoins, stocks, index funds, hedge funds, and he even brought another restaurant. The money just kept coming and coming and coming. Now remember, Johnny came from humble beginnings, and before he met Porsha, he was just a humble guy that grew up on Fresh Pond Road who ended up moving to Sunnyside. So he knew how to keep it low, you feel me? Now Johnny knew what Porsha went through the course of her life growing up in Seattle. So he knew that she went through a lot of pain and hardship, and he just wanted to show his lady the best part of life because he was so head over heels over her, even though Johnny wasn't flamboyant and flashy. Now, deep down inside, Porsha was a cool girl. She just wanted to be loved, you know what I mean? She didn't really care about material things, but everybody wants to live their life. So Johnny put his lady Porsha on a jet, and they jetted out of the United States to just have some R&R. I mean, some real R&R. Porsha deserved it. She was working real hard, and so was Johnny. So they were out. As Johnny and Porsha flew over the beautiful 5-star resort, Porsha was astonished. She, being from Seattle, had never seen anything like this before. Of course, she went to New York, but this 5-star resort was out of the world, and Porsha was astonished, and Johnny was elated to see his lady that way. And when he and Porsha landed, look at this beautiful villa. Yo, they had so much fun. Yo, look at this beautiful resort. Yo, Porsha, being from Seattle, she was mind boggled, and she was so elated. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. They had so much fun here. Porsha had the time of her life. She made memories that she would never ever forget, and it was all because of Johnny. Porsha just jumped for joy. She spun around in circles. She had so much fun with Johnny. She never had an experience like this ever in her whole entire life. Porsha kicked back pleasantly on the swing as she enjoyed the ocean views. When nightfall came, her and Johnny walked on the beach holding hands, just enjoying each other's company. Yeah, they really enjoyed just talking, walking. They sat in the sand and they even just enjoyed the view of the ocean, the sun, and just enjoyed each other's company. They were truly in love. Johnny was head over heels over Porsha, and Porsha loved him as well. These two just enjoyed being in one another's company for real. You know what I mean? I mean really for real, if you know what I mean. Johnny does. You feel me? But anyway, moving along in the story. Now, as the couple landed safely back in New York City at LaGuardia Airport, they intended to go home and get some rest. After resting for a while, Porsha began to toss and turn in the bed, and then she turned over again and she realized that Johnny wasn't there. She was like, "Where's Johnny?" She started calling around. Nobody knew where Johnny was. After waiting around, she just couldn't take it no more. Porsha called the police and she told them to meet her at her house because she couldn't find Johnny. After speaking to the police tried to calm Porsha down and told her that maybe it was just a misunderstanding. She told them no way, but they told her just give it a few days, he'll be back. Porsha cried herself to sleep and stressed out more when she woke up, but she was determined to get Johnny back. He was the love of her life. She was stressed. Right at that exact time, Porsha received a call from a guy that said, "We have Johnny. This is not a game. Meet us and bring $200,000 and don't call police, or you know what'll happen." Once again, the guy said, "This is not a game. We'll instruct you where to drop the money, and you come by yourself. And no police."